Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now, Bitcoin just perfectly retested this previous area of resistance, while these short-term bearish divergences are still currently active, which I'll talk about in just a moment, so definitely stick around. First of all, just giving you a quick update here on the weekly Bitcoin chart. And once again, like I said in my last video, we recently just confirmed a weekly candle close above this significant area of resistance, which, by the way, is sitting in between around 28,000 to 29.5k based on these previous levels of support that we saw throughout 2021 and also here for a brief time during 2022. So obviously here on the larger time frames, this is one bullish confirmation signal confirming the breakout above this resistance here on the weekly chart. And now if you're zooming into the daily Bitcoin chart, just over the last 1 to 2 days, we have seen a retest of this previous area of resistance, which is now acting as new support. And this is yet another bullish confirmation signal. Now, technically speaking, we still need to see this candle close confirm in the green. And if that happens, that essentially confirms that this previous resistance is now acting as new support, which is obviously a bullish signal, especially in terms of the trend, because obviously we are still seeing higher lows and higher highs in the price. And on top of that, anytime where we break out above resistance and flip that previous resistance into new support, obviously that is bullish price structure. But now, even though we are still in a bullish trend, right now, if you're looking at the daily Bitcoin price oscillators, these are showing very low momentum, which means we're likely going to see perhaps a sideways consolidation, kind of like what we saw right here, because obviously if you're looking at both the RSI and the MACD on the daily time frame, these are in similar positions to what they were in back here when we saw this sideways consolidation. First of all, the RSI has recently come off overbought territories, somewhat similar to what we saw back here during the end of March 2023. And if you're looking at the daily Bitcoin MACD, right now the momentum is very flat, not overly bullish or overly bearish, which is once again pointing towards a bit of choppy sideways price action as the most likely outcome in the shorter term here. So once again, just a pause from the larger bullish trend is most likely moving forward. And now if you're zooming into the shorter term, this is on the 4-hour time frame, and what we're seeing right here is essentially backing up what I just said, because right now this 4-hour bearish divergence is still technically active, because at least as of right now, we have not seen any new highs in the price action or the RSI. We're still seeing lower highs in the RSI, which is technically a sign of weakness in the shorter term, despite the fact that the price obviously did have a successful retest of this previous resistance. Now, technically speaking, that is a short-term bullish signal, but this is also happening while we have an active bearish divergence. So once again, these are kind of canceling each other out, pointing towards most likely some choppy sideways price action. So not overly bullish or overly bearish, but instead we're most likely going to see a market somewhat like this, at least in the shorter term. Once again, this is still occurring within a larger bullish trend. And as for support and resistance levels right now, obviously we still have resistance at around 31,000 approximately, which is where we saw this previous local high. And as for support, we have flipped this previous resistance into new support, which is a price range I have here in between 28.6k to just above 29,000, once again acting as support in the short term. But anyway, now getting into the Ethereum part of this video, this right here is on the daily ETH to US dollar chart, and obviously in terms of the larger trend at play, this has not changed over the last few days. We are still technically within a larger bullish trend, especially with the price trading above this previous significant resistance, which is a price area in between 1980 to 2040. Now, of course, if we end up seeing a confirmed break well below $2,000, then in that case, obviously that would be a shorter term bearish signal pointing towards a possible trend reversal. reversal. And in that case, the next significant area of support here on the daily time frame would be sitting in between around 1770 to 1820. And once again, as I've said in recent videos here on the channel, the daily Ethereum RSI recently entered into overbought territories, telling us we are due to see some sort of pause or cool off from the larger bullish trend. And if you're simply looking at the last time where we saw overbought territories in the daily Ethereum RSI, that was back in around the middle of January this year, just before we saw a pause from the bullish trend. And now if you're zooming into the shorter term, this is on the 4-hour time frame, and right now we do have an active bearish divergence because we're seeing horizontal highs in the price action in the 4-hour candle closes, while we're seeing lower highs in the 4-hour Ethereum RSI. Now, technically speaking, this is not a regular bearish divergence, because in a regular bearish divergence, we usually see higher highs in the price action and lower highs in the RSI, but horizontal highs in the price while we're seeing lower highs in the RSI is still a form of bearish divergence. It's just a weaker form of bearish divergence compared to the traditional higher highs and lower highs. So once again, at least as of right now, we do have an active bearish divergence, even if it is a weaker bearish divergence here in the short term for the price of ETH. And on top of that, we just recently saw a bounce from where we saw a bounce at this previous low, which is now making an area of support in between around 2040 to 2060 here in the short term. So basically, due to the fact that the price is still bouncing from these areas of support, and due to the fact that we have an active bearish divergence, once again, we're likely going to see some choppy sideways price action in the shorter term. And now, if we do end up seeing a confirmed break back below this area of support, so below around 2040, then in that case, we could end up dropping down towards around 1940 to 1950 approximately, based on this previous area of resistance now acting as new support, and also based on this ascending line of support. And now, if you want to know how to maximize your profits in crypto, no matter if the price is going to the upside, to the downside, or simply chopping around sideways like right now, then make sure to watch these videos popping up right here on your screen. The video in the top left shows you how to make money if the price is either bullish or bearish, and the video in the bottom left shows you how to make money if the price is just chopping around sideways. But anyway, that's everything that I have to say for today. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.